Tottenham Hotspur could sign Andy Robertson from Liverpool in the last 9 days of the January transfer window. Obviously, the date is the 23rd of January 2026, and obviously the transfer deadline day will be on the 31st, and there is probably about 5-6 days until that. I think there might be more. I think it's probably about 5-6 days till the 31st. And Liverpool could be losing a left-back, and it is Andy Robertson. Spurs do have interest in signing Andy Robertson this January transfer window. Obviously, Ben Davies is injured with a fractured ankle. But Spurs do have another left-back option at Destiny Udogie, and they've also signed Sousa from Santos, age 19, who is also a left-back, so they do have another couple of left-back options there. But I think this could impact Liverpool, not in a good way, because although Robertson is 31 years of age, it's probably time to let him go now. He's had a great career at Liverpool, but I just don't think I think it's unsafe for us to go into the last 4 or 5 months of the season with 2 fit centre-backs. One who is Gomez, who can be quite prone to getting injured. And then we've got 2 fit right-backs, who are Jeremy Frimpong and Calvin Ramsey. Calvin Ramsey, who Slot has said basically not going to be part of his plans, which I think is a bit cruel. And we've got one, if Robertson leaves, we will have one left-back in Milos Kerkez. So, obviously, we've got youth. We do have youth with Owen Beck and Amara Ranallo. I think if we do, in fact, lose Robbo this January, we do have maybe an option in Joe Gomez, who can play as a left-back until we get Tsimikas back at the end of the season. This is just if Kerkez gets injured, so we've got a bit of cover at left back. And maybe it's a bit of like a risk selling Robertson in the January transfer window when we aren't going to be able to get a proper replacement for him in the last 6 days of the transfer window. Obviously, we do have the security of Joe Gomez, who can play at left back if need be. Obviously, he could be playing again at centre-back on Saturday. Obviously, due to the circumstances around the horrible situation that Ibrahima Konate is dealing with right now, obviously, thoughts, condolences and prayers do go to Ibu and his family. It's such a horrible situation. But I am probably going to expect that Joe Gomez does play at centre-back on Saturday. I don't think Konate will be back. He's going to be playing that game, and that is more than okay. I think Joe Gomez will probably play centre-back on Saturday. But yeah, it's just we need that cover at left-back. It's not a case of Milos Kerkez isn't good enough, so we need Andy Robertson. Kerkez is solid. Kerkez starts for me at left back, but we just need that cover in case Kerkez gets injured. And we've obviously got 4 options: Joe Gomez, who can play at left back. We've got Amara Ranallo, who can play at left back. Owen Beck, who can play at left back, and obviously the option of recalling Tsimikas from Roma. But yeah, maybe it is time to let Robertson go. I will be very sad if this deal does happen. Obviously, I don't really want to be selling him to another team in the Premier League. If I'm completely honest, I really don't want to be doing that. But if that happens, then it's not really in our hands. I just don't know how I feel about selling Robertson to Tottenham if he does go to Tottenham. But yeah, he's had a great career with us, and if he does go, what can we say? If he does go, then thank you, Robertson. You've been such a good servant for us over the years, and it's been a pleasure, for you to play for our football club, and he leaves in very, very high regard if he does go this January, and this could happen over the next 24 to 48 hours. So if it does happen and Robertson does go to Tottenham, then thank you, Robbo, for everything you've done for the football club, and we wish you well in your future endeavours. But yeah, I really do think Liverpool are very thin on the ground with defensive options this season. As I've said, we've got 2 fit right backs, obviously Calvin Ramsey and Jeremy Frimpong. We've got 2 fit centre backs in obviously Konate and Van Dijk. Giovanni Leone will be out until at least the summer, and then Joe Gomez is obviously a player who can play. He puts a solid shift in a lot of the time, but he can also play at left back as well if we needed. If this was happening in the summer, I'd be sad that Robertson was leaving, but then it wouldn't be such of a problem. But because it's happening mid-January, well, late January, it is maybe a bit unsafe to just go into the rest of the season with 1 left back. It's not a good idea, I don't think. It really isn't a good idea. Yeah, I really just don't think that selling Robertson at this point in the season is really going to help us. Like, we've had enough defensive frailties and fragilities this season. Do we really need to be selling one of our best players? I mean, obviously he's going to want game time. I mean, I don't think he really ever expected to get much game time at Liverpool this season, considering Kirkez had signed for us. But I don't think it is a good idea selling a player like Robertson midway through the season when all we have really at left back is Joe Gomez. That's all we really have at left back if anything happens to Kirkez for the rest of the season. I just don't think it's a good idea selling Robertson. I really don't think it's a good idea selling Robertson. If it happens, I can understand, but we could have problems at left back if it does happen. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I think, to be honest. I'm obviously sad that he could be leaving. He could be on the verge of leaving. But yeah, I really don't know what we're going to do at left back if Robertson does leave. There's also that as well. I just really don't know why Hughes and Edwards are considering selling Robertson when we're midway through the season and we could get injuries to Kirkez. If Kirkez gets an injury, yeah, we've got Joe Gomez, but that's not significant cover to left back. We need a replacement left back. Considering that Andy Robertson is a very reliable and experienced player in our team, I really just don't know why we are considering selling him mid-season when we've already got so many defensive fragilities. And if we get one injury to Milos Kerkez, it's not going to go well for us. When we only really have Joe Gomez, who isn't a centre-back who isn't a left-back but can play left-back. If that's the only cover we've got at left-back, then that isn't good enough. That isn't good enough. We genuinely can't sell Robertson late January when we've still got another 4 or 5 months left of the season. The season goes until May. I wish it went until January. The season goes until May, and we've still got at least 4 months left of this season. And, it's gotten better recently, but our defence has been a key point as to why we have done so bad this season. And it's so easy to play through, and there's not enough attack coming from that defence. And I just think that if we do sell Robertson and Kerkez does get injured, I just can't stress how important it is to keep Robertson until the end of the season. Fine if he goes at the end of the season. That's cool. That's well, I mean, it's not okay because I'd love to keep Robertson, but we can deal with that. It's the end of the season. We can get a replacement. We can get a backup. But if it does happen where Kerkez in an event situation where Kerkez does get injured, and we have to either recall Tsimikas or play Gomez at right back. I mean, we probably might still have to recall Tsimikas, even if Joe Gomez does play in that position. Because if Joe Gomez gets injured, then what are we going to do if we don't have a backup for him? I just really think it's a stupid move to be selling Robertson halfway through the season when at any point Kerkez could get an injury and then we're screwed. We are screwed. As you've seen a couple of times this season, Dominic Szoboszlai has been played out of his position at right back. In a couple of games that has worked, and then in a couple of games it hasn't worked. If we do sell Robertson, we then don't have enough cover at left back. This is what we should be addressing. We should be addressing this problem, that we are not going to have enough cover at left back if we do sell Robertson. We're just not. We're not going to have nearly enough cover at left back if we sell Robertson. Yeah, I mean, on Spurs' part, if they do sign Robertson, it's going to be a very good signing. Very experienced player, and he's a very reliable player. He'll do... I mean, you know... Who needs him more right now? Spurs or Liverpool? I think we definitely need him more right now, considering we've got little to nothing at left back if he leaves. And it's just... Our defence is very thin. It's very thin right now, considering we have got we've got 2 of our defensive players out until the end of the season. We've got a right back and a centre back out until the end of the season with 2 different injuries. I think. Was Conor Bradley an ACL? I think it might have been, but correct me if it wasn't. I haven't written everything down. But I just don't know if this... This is not a good idea in the slightest. We are an injury away from this being a catastrophe. A catastrophe. We are an injury away from this being a catastrophe for our defence. As if Hughes and Edwards have not looked at that and gone, right, consider this. Tottenham want Robertson, but if we do sell Robertson, we've only got Milos Kerkez at left back. And if Milos Kerkez gets injured, who are we going to have at left back? Well, we've got Joe Gomez who can play left back, but is also prone to getting injured. And if he does get injured, are we going to recall Tsimikas back from Roma? Or, if Milos Kerkez does get injured, are we going to have a youth backup, either Owen Beck or Amara Nallo? You know what I mean? It's not safe to do this midway through the season. We're taking a massive risk if we sell Robertson. Yeah, Tottenham might need him because they've got an injury to one of their players, but they have more defence, they have more backup and more cover for left back than we do at the minute. If we sell Robertson, we have literally no cover at left back if Kerkez gets injured. No cover at left back if Kerkez gets injured. Hopefully, from now until the end of the season, he doesn't get injured. But this Robertson deal might not go through. Who knows? If it doesn't go through, that's good, because it means that we do have cover at left back. I think Kerkez was injured for a bit at the start of the season where, we got an injury. And imagine if Robertson had have got injured, and then who do we play at left back then? Imagine if Robertson had got injured, playing in for Kirkes at the start of the season. Imagine if Robertson had have got injured. What would we have done then? We'd have been screwed. We'd have been absolutely screwed. What are we going to do? Play Gakpo at left back? Well, we seem to be playing Dom at right back, so can't we play Gakpo at left back? Oh, it's stupid. But yeah, considering all the good signs that Hughes and Edwards made in the summer, they've now cocked two things up within a week. Mark Gahey obviously signed for Man City last weekend. And now Robertson could be leaving to go to Spurs this weekend. That deal, if it moves fast enough, I've seen that verbal agreement is in fact done. So if this moves fast enough, this could be done within 24 to 48 hours, and we don't have a left-back replacement for Robertson. We don't have a proper left-back replacement for him. I think if we do let Robertson go, we are going to have to do something at left-back, whether that is recall Tsimikas or play Joe Gomez there, if Kirkes gets injured. This is just for left-back cover, by the way. We our cover for left-back, if Robertson leaves, is very, very thin. Very, very thin, if Kirkes gets injured. Robertson is such a reliable and solid left-back, and such a great backup to Kirkes if he does get injured. In the event of an injury to Kirkes, we are going to need a solid left-back. We are going to need a solid left-back. And if it means that we do have to bring Tsimikas back, then, that's just how it may be. But if it does happen that we do have to bring Tsimikas back in the event of an injury to Kirkes, then that's how it's going to be. But yeah, Andrew Robertson could go to Spurs. I do not think this is good for Liverpool at all. I just don't think this is a good idea in the slightest, as for the reasons I've mentioned. I really just don't think this is very good. It's not, it's obviously good for Tottenham if they do sign him because they're getting a great player, but we have so much frailty in our defensive positions this season that if Robertson goes, we will become even more fragile in our defence. And that's not what we need going into the last 4 or 5 months of the season when we're trying to salvage something from this season, whether that be top 4 in the Premier League, going far in the Champions League, or the FA Cup. We can't have this going into the last 4 or 5 months of the season when we need to salvage at least something from this season. I think it's a bit reckless by our sporting directors, to be honest. I think it is a bit reckless to be selling one of our best left-backs halfway through the season to a rival club. I just think it's very reckless. I just do. But yeah, if Robertson does go, thank you for your serve. Thank you for serving for our football club for as long as you have, Robertson. And we all wish you luck, and obviously, for your future endeavours. But if you are to go in the next 24 to 48 hours, we've loved having you at this club, and it's been a good ride, mate. But yeah. If you enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I'll see you lovely on the next one. Please take care of your people for yourselves, and as always, peace out.